Reporter. So, Clovis, this is an open letter. Tell us about who signed it and what it says.
Yes, an open letter this morning in newspaper Le Figaro, well-respected newspaper, including big names like actresses Nathalie Baye, Carole Bouquet, Charlotte Rampling, singers Carla Bruni, Jacques Dutronc. Many of them are long-time friends of Gerard Depardieu. It's not the young generation of French actors or French artists. It's more the old guard, if I may. And all feel they can't remain silent in the face of what they're calling a manhunt targeting France's living legend, probably the most famous French actor in the world, Gerard Depardieu. He's under formal investigation for 2 cases of rape, alleged rape back in 2020. He denies them. And a recent documentary, you can see the pictures behind me, are from the backstage of a documentary, the making of a documentary in North Korea, where Gerard Depardieu makes very obscene remarks, clear misogyny about women and young girls. So what does this open letter actually says? Well, it says that when you're targeting Depardieu, you're attacking art, and also that justice needs to be respected and that Depardieu is innocent until proven guilty. The artists say, yes, an investigation is underway, but let's let the investigators do their work and let's stop talking about Depardieu. These friends of his say that they're very worried for him, that he's at an all-time low in his life. Some even saying that they're worried for the life of Depardieu, that people are trying to destroy him, trying to put him down. And these 50 artists or so, moreover, say that Depardieu, France owes a lot to Depardieu, that the French actor has helped his country shine around the world. He even received the Legion of Honor for that. And this is where it's getting a little political, because a week ago, the French president, Emmanuel Macron, made some comments about Depardieu. Let's take a listen to what Emmanuel Macron had to say.
The answer to the question of whether are we taking back the Legion of Honor given to artists or other known figures who say things that shock me, that answer is no. And I'm telling you this right now because it isn't a moral reward, and I don't want it to become that. There's one thing you'll never see me do, and that's go on a manhunt. I hate that.
Really interesting comments from Emmanuel Macron, saying he's a big fan of Gerard Depardieu and what it does for France. Just tell me what ripple effect that has had politically and societal too.
Well, in that clip, we saw a journalist only half convinced by what Emmanuel Macron was saying, and she's not the only one here in France. You've got many feminist groups, many people in general in France, just saying that the French president had no role here. He shouldn't have spoken out. He shouldn't have defended the undefendable. That's what these groups are saying. And what's interesting also is that the culture minister here in France, a few days before that interview, said that Gerard Depardieu might be stripped of his Legion of Honor, that the committee was looking into it. That infuriated the French president, who said that his culture minister spoke too soon and was wrong in doing that. Let's also say that there have been many accusations of sexism, of misconduct, of molesting, targeting Gerard Depardieu on film sets throughout the years. Many voices being heard increasingly also about Gerard Depardieu, and some also saying that the world of cinema has been turning a blind eye, and not just men, women also allowing Gerard Depardieu to make sexist remarks, for making women feel uncomfortable on film sets. Depardieu's waxworks now been removed from the Muséum Grévin, which is the equivalent of the Madame Tussauds here in France. He's also been stripped of his title of honorary citizen in Belgium, a similar title also in Quebec. So clearly the Depardieu scandal is going beyond the French borders. Will it be the French Harvey Weinstein scandal? We'll have to wait and see, but clearly an all-time low for Gerard Depardieu, accused of many sexist remarks, also under formal investigation for 2 cases of rape. Difficult times for Gerard Depardieu and some of his friends trying to defend him.
Clovis, it's really interesting what you've just said. When you talk about this basically unity of a number of well-known celebrities, people like Charlotte Rampling, Carla Bruni, the singer as well, saying that they stand behind him. Let's wait to see. This is a lynching, they say. You talk about the effect, which I didn't know, to his health as well, that those around him say actually he's contemplated potentially suicide, but we haven't heard from him in recent weeks.
No, he did take to the newspapers and try to give an interview, try to explain himself years back when there are other accusations flowing. And he said that he was no rapist, that he was no predator, that was just his personality to joke around, to make obviously obscene remarks. And Carole Bouquet, his former partner, huge actress here in France, also defending him, also saying that was just his personality. His friends were telling him off for doing that. But these are very different cases. There's a difference between accusations of rape and just bad jokes. Gerard Depardieu caught in a storm very clearly. Will it be the next Weinstein? We don't really know. Gerard Depardieu's family also speaking out, saying that Gerard Depardieu is in a very difficult moral state. Gerard Depardieu's a controversial figure. He's been accused of being a friend of Putin in the past, going to Russia several times, being shown on Russian TV with Putin. He tried to defend him at some points over the war in Ukraine. Gerard Depardieu also accused of not paying his tax in the past, going to Belgium. So no stranger to controversy. But this is of a very different nature. Gerard Depardieu, we haven't heard from him yet, but he's a troubled soul. I'm not going to try to defend him here. His son died a few years ago, and it does seem that he was never the same again. Gerard Depardieu, obviously in a very difficult situation, and that's why his friends are trying to defend him.